Hi guys, Raynal here. A unit I was very excited for in the second Mastery update is Yerma. She's a unit that I've mained for the first 6 months or so of my War of the Vision story. I was using her alongside Lucia and Frederica, and she was my pseudo-tank at the time, because I didn't own Engelbert. She fell off pretty heavily in the EX era, because what her EX job gave her was nothing but damage, and she has really strong damage, but she lacks the large AoE options that modern units need to be good carries, and then she just doesn't have the survivability. Her second mastery upgrade gave her defense penetration, which was much needed for her, but also courage whenever she uses her limit break, and it now imperils single target resistance before dealing damage, making it a very good tank busting move. So what I want to do today is showcase her. She's got pretty good overall stats, 8,000 HP, 1,600 attack, 40 defense, 20 spirit, but her resistances are really low because Yerma has terrible init resistances. So even if we have vision guards that increase magic resistance, she's still in the negatives. So overall, she's not a good unit. I'm going to feature her for fun because I enjoy her, but I don't recommend that people build her necessarily. We have June, who's mainly there to tank for us. She's there to take the heat off the rest of our team so that we have a chance to showcase our two unusual wind units. And then the other one is full Drain Force build Oldoa. She is not built for attack, so disregard that 1400 attack. We hope she won't use it. What we hope she'll do is just drain people, and depending on whether Yerma imperiled single target resistance before or not, she could drain for up to 9,000 potentially. So today I will do a full 15 fights and show you the fights that I think are the most interesting, and then I'll also give you the end result, how many fights I won versus how many I lost in our overall attempts. Okay, we've got this mono water team. They are mostly evasion based, so I'm not too sure how this is going to go, but let's see. What is in our favor is that most of their damage is physical based and or missile based, which is probably the damage type that we are the most resistant to. Not necessarily June, but the other two, Yerma and Oldoa, have pretty good resistance to these. So let's see just what happens. So first, Pharm goes backwards, increases their area resistance. It's a pretty good buff, but I feel like by the time we reach them, it'll have worn out anyways. Then Adrenaline, pretty big buff for Lara Croft as well, just increasing her AP, which is pretty important. And then we start moving in. One thing that could be an issue is if Yerma never gets in range to hit anybody, she won't use her limit break and thus will not increase her, will not give herself courage. Now Tracker, apparently we're still not in their range. I really thought I'd have gotten hit by now considering how many missile attackers they have. Now Yerma charges in, uses her new ability that gives her almost 100 defense penetration, but it doesn't really do much against Celes. Then good, a single target attack right here, and then Drain Force misses. Not good for us. We take one steady shot, we're blinded, doesn't matter, we'll just use the guaranteed hit on both for what the hell was that damage, Yerma? Okay, I guess Yerma showed us that she can have decent damage if she lives long enough to use it. Alright, Engelbert, Jayden, Starlit, Elena. It's a pretty standard combination. Let's see how we do against them. I'm always kind of scared to see a Jayden because he hits us from pretty far away, and our Yerma, if she doesn't land the first hit, basically dies in 2, so it's really hard to weave her in at the right timing. Maybe if I was playing her manually, I would see more utility, but it's really hard to justify her cost, to be honest. In that scenario, she is not much more than an MR, I would say. She's got only one thing she does well, which is damage. And typically MRs are those units that have one good facet, and that justifies playing them. But let's see, so there we go, moves in, is now inside Jayden's threat range. Engelbert uses courage, hopefully not too far in range. Yeah, Yerma loses half her health already. This is the way I expect this matchup to go. Now, is she in range to use something on Engelbert? Yes, she uses her limit break. This is what I wanted to see. Now it's going to decrease his single target resistance and deal a decent chunk of HP, so 5,000 on an Engelbert is not bad. He then proceeds to Tonic Blade our backline, surprisingly enough. I kind of thought he would go for someone else here. And then Jayden is forced to go ahead and shoot Joom, which fortunately for us doesn't kill anyone, actually. Now, Elena will pop the courage. I'm fine with that. And we will Drain Force him for 7,000 damage, getting her back to full HP. Now Yerma finishes off the Courage, but he will kill us afterwards. So Engelbert did not need a lot of attack to be able to deal damage to us here. Let's see what Joom decides to do. So she finishes off Engelbert and deals some damage to Elena, but then will probably go down, because she did take a couple hits from the enemy Jayden, and she's not built in an NT-light build right now. Triple Trick pops the first Courage on Elena, but at that point, Jayden is still fine in the back, Elena is still full of AP and ready to kill our Oldoa, so I don't quite see how we could win this. Let's see though. Oldoa dies once, comes back to life, Jayden then goes. Does he have enough AP to shoot her? Yes, 28 will be more than enough, so Oldoa goes down, and this is a defeat. Alright, so typical light team. They have a full evasion Locke, Elena on top of Engelbert. One thing I like about this team in our specific case is that they don't have the Bahamut Vision card, which does not give them single turret resistance. So our drains will be a lot higher if we can get a drain onto their Engelbert. We'll see. That might not happen, and then we might just miss a couple of our important hits, but we'll see. As long as Yerma is aligned in a line, she can use her guaranteed hit, and so can Oldoa with her Drain Force in a line. So there is a matter of positioning here that could be difficult. We'll see what happens. So first, one of ours begins using their survivability tools, then Yerma starts running down, and then Engelbert brings Courage. I don't think he's in range of Yerma just yet. Maybe he is, though. To be honest, I'm not fully aware of what Yerma's range is in this scenario. But I hope if she can hit him, she can do so with her limit break, because without Courage, she is going to go down very shortly. So we'll see what happens in a minute here. Decides to go for Engelbert and does use her limit break, so not too bad here. This is going to hit him for roughly 5,000 damage. Never mind me, 9,000 damage on Engelbert, plus Courage on herself. That was a pretty high value move she just used here, and then takes a pretty low amount of damage overall from Engelbert. We get our backline AP hunted by Mr. Locke, which is not great, but then Oldoa decides to Drain Force him and misses. Oh, how unfortunate. A hit there would have been huge. Yerma then takes a Banished Blade, pops Courage, moves to the side, I guess, and uses her guaranteed hit. Hopefully. Yep, an unfailing knee breaker, pops Courage on both, unfortunately not a kill, but Joom's there to finish both off, and now it's up to Locke to finish the rest of our team by himself. He's already dodged one attack from Oldoa. Can he do it again? He says, yes, I don't care. If you're not using guaranteed hits, you're not touching me. And so he pops Reflex on our guaranteed hit and dodges it again. Locke just showing us why he is OP. So Joom's going to generate hate again. Oldoa's all out of AP, but Yerma still has some of her abilities. Uses Conquering Blow, pops him from the back. He comes back to life. Now he's got AP, uses Rising Sun. Locke, will you please go down? This showcase is not supposed to last that long for a single fight. Alright, Locke wants nothing to do with what I'm asking, so we'll just guarantee hit and kill him finally. This time, that seems like a fun team. They're built mostly for area resistance, which is good for us. They have some magic damage, which is really scary, and some ranged attacks as well, but, you know, we can't always be hitting teams we have advantages on. I'm impressed that we were able to win some fights against light teams. That was really good. I haven't really tested against mages, so this is our first big test against somebody like Mont. Can she one-punch Yerma? And if she can, well, we're just done. We won't be able to do much more than that. So let's see what happens. I've tested different positions, and I think in a map where our team can split more, we would do a lot better. What happens here is I'm forced to put Yerma in front, otherwise, since she has more mobility than the others, she just groups, and since our tank isn't all that tanky, she dies very quickly if I send her in front. So let's see what Yerma does here. Probably Limit Break. No, just launch. She doesn't need anything special to kill more in a single hit. So consider me very impressed by that amount of damage, and very sad she did not give herself Courage right there. I really hope against an enemy like Celes she has to use it, right? Yep, great. So uses Limit Break, that will allow her to survive one more hit. Let's see how much damage we do. 7,000 on Celes. and then takes Sharpshoot, survives thanks to Courage, and then Celes moves to our tank, who is now in range, so she ignores Yerma for the finisher. Storm Siphon with single target resistance down on Celes is enough to kill, and then Oldoa still not in range, but Yerma should be able to go for Lara here. 7,000 damage, didn't even need the guaranteed hit, and just takes her out. This seems like a funny team. They have 2 tanks and a Cloud for damage. Let's see if we can make anything happen. My experience against Cloud is that his damage is probably not going to be enough to one-shot, but if any of Charlotte and or Celes hits alongside him, then whoever got hit is going to be dead, because they all have slashing moves, they can capitalize on his chains, and just finish us pretty easily. So let's see, hate on Charlotte, fine by me. Hopefully Cloud runs in range immediately here. And yes, that seems to be what he's doing, so looking at the turn order, I think they will not have a chance to hit Yerma with more than 1 unit here. Hopefully I'm right. Yeah, I'm not sure anymore. You know what? I would not put my hand on the fire for that. Let's see, bet my hand. I'm not sure what the English expression is here. But 1 of them not in range, 2 of them not in range. Okay, good. So Yerma will have a chance to attack at least once. Please use your limit break. Thank you. Soaring Axe Slash will allow her to survive 1 more hit before going down. 7,000 damage on Charlotte is nothing to scoff at. And then, June, please don't walk next to Yerma. You didn't. That was a good job. Now, Charlotte will probably finish off 1 health on us. Charlotte dies. Oh no! The way we moved will allow Celes to hit all of us together. No, because she uses her limit break. Okay, so Yerma will survive this attack. Celes does the spin to win move, deals pretty much no damage. It's fine. Yerma, go. It's your time to shine. Guaranteed hit on both. Yeah. Oh, it's not a 1-punch on Cloud. He's a tanky boy. Unfortunate. But here we go, finally goes down, and then Drain Force for 6,000 on Celes to finish the fight. Alright, that was a fun win. I'm very curious to fight this Fire team. They have a very strong against physical damage King Mont, and then Terra and Winter Macherie. So let's hit them and see what happens. The main threat is really Terra's damage, right? She has magical type attacks that we are weak against on every member except Joom. So she could maybe 1-punch, and in that case, we are going to be in trouble. What I do like, though, is that Winter Macherie, if she uses her bow moves while on top, is going to run out of AP very early, so that could allow Joom and Oldoa to clean up. I don't think Yerma is going to live for a very long time, but hopefully she gets enough distance away from our tank in her first turns to be ignored by the enemy backline for a short while. Apparently, Macherie is in range for her piercing attack immediately from the beginning. I don't know whether Yerma survives that, actually. Okay, she does, so never mind. So far, so good, and now she's going to be able to use her limit break on whoever she wants, I hope. Yep. So, limit break onto King Mont, and unfortunately, though, King Mont is now in range to hit her back, and will probably pop Courage. No, he's too weak! So this is a really good situation for Yerma to be in now. Our tank is going to start walking in, won't be in AoE range just yet. Meanwhile, we've taken away the enemy tank, and we are in a good position. Terra will pop Courage, fine by me. Yerma's still alive now, and she is in position to go ahead and hit. Conquering Blow for 9,000 damage on Macherie, who unfortunately has 10,000 HP, so she doesn't die from it, impressively enough. Now, oh, okay. Joom finishes off Macherie with an attack that was kind of unnecessarily strong, then Meltdown here, but Yerma decides to go finish off the enemy. Reaving Axe for 8,000. Man, she does way too much damage. Every one of her attacks is like 6,000 to 8,000. Third time's a charm from Joom. Absorb AP twice in a row from the enemy Terra. What a surprisingly useful reaction here. Oldoa dies, comes back to life, and then I don't know if she has AP left. Yeah, she's one of those that did not get drained, but doesn't need it. Just basic attacks Terra for the win. So overall, I've won a big total of 7 fights out of my 15. This team did not work very well against teams in the top 500 of Arena, surprisingly enough, right? It has a couple issues, but mostly I think the map just wasn't good for it. If we had a map where we could split people across, have our tank take the heat for a short while Oldoa and Yerma flank, and then start attacking, I think we would get a better performance. And I'll be very eager to showcase this team again in the future in a different map. But for now, I mean, just being able to win some fights against light or against meta fire teams was surprisingly, and it was fun enough for me to showcase it. So let me know what you think. Did you enjoy Yerma? Do you think she's got more potential than you initially thought? And then that's it. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your day.